On track, on track, on track, on track, on track with Jada, on track, on track, on track, on track, on track with Jada. If this video came across your page, then this is a message for you. Rise above and give yourself closure. I see so many girls and women filter life through the wounds they carry. Their wounds show up in their love life, their personal life, their family life. It affects their career. It affects their self-image. I know girls who didn't have a nurturing maternal figure who spend their lives spiraling and in a state of fight or flight. They're in this state of self-destruction and self-sabotage because they were never shown how to love themselves. Therefore, they're unable to love others properly. They enter dysfunctional relationships because they were never taught how to prioritize themselves. I see a lot of fragmented girls who grow into broken women, women who make decisions that only cause them more pain and suffering. A lot of girls aren't taught the importance of holding themselves highly, especially my Black girls. We are taught to discount ourselves, whether that is in our career, in our personal lives, in our love lives. We are taught to discount ourselves. We are taught to overgive of ourselves. We are taught to sacrifice ourselves in the name of love, in the name of family, in the name of success. Not enough girls are taught how to make themselves whole. What does it mean to be a whole and complete being? What does it mean to be free? What does it mean to have a clean heart and a clean soul? Girls who didn't have nurturing maternal figures. This could be an aunt, a grandmother, a older sister, things like that. If a girl doesn't have that nurturing figure, it makes it difficult for her to know how to navigate this world as a woman and how to replenish and heal herself in this world as a woman. Many girls and women experience abuse, whether that's sexual, emotional, physical. Many girls and women experience neglect. Abuse changes our brain and puts us into fight or flight. We are triggered and in survival mode. And because of this, it affects our ability to make sound decisions. When you are in a triggered state, you are just trying to survive. So you are making decisions from a place of survival. These decisions may not exactly benefit you, but it works for right now. Girls who have been abused grow into women who carry these wounds. and they don't know how to heal from them. These women find themselves making decisions that harm them. These women find themselves in dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional friendships, because they are still that fragmented little girl who wasn't given the tools she needed to heal herself. So she constantly makes decisions that remind her that she is unworthy of love as she is. She constantly makes decisions that leave her in this cycle of heartbreak. It is not your fault that you were abused. It is not your fault that you were taken advantage of. It is not your fault that you were touched inappropriately. It is not your fault that you weren't handled with care. It is not your fault that someone violated you and made you feel unsafe in your own body. That is not your fault. Forgive for the sake of yourself. Forgiveness is not for the people who have hurt you and harmed you. It's not for them, it's for you. Because when you are a broken individual, a broken woman, and you are functioning from that place of being a broken woman, you will constantly choose what is not good for you. You will constantly choose the option that reminds you of the pain that you are so familiar with. When you are a broken woman, you filter life through your wounds. Your wounds project back to you what you are feeling. Your wounds directly affect your reality, how you see it, and how you experience it. There comes a point when you need to make that decision to set yourself free. There comes a point when you need to make that decision to take your power back and not allow your past wounds to impact your future. Being abused leaves you with a lot of questions. It leaves you wondering why. It leaves you feeling guilty, shameful, thinking maybe you could have done something differently. Being abused affects how we experience love. Abuse warps an individual's sense of love and what love is. When someone has experienced years of abuse, they start to mistake pain, hurt, abuse for love. Dysfunction starts to feel normal because this is what they've grown accustomed to. These women have grown accustomed to being taken for granted. These women have grown accustomed to being silenced, being pushed aside. These women have grown accustomed to believing their voice doesn't matter. So they walk this earth feeling disempowered. They walk this earth repeating that cycle of pain they experienced. This is why some women have chaotic love lives. They experience betrayal and harm from every person they date. They find themselves dating the same type of person. They find themselves in the cycle of disappointment and hurt and betrayal and pain. And the only way to step out of this cycle is to look within yourself and pinpoint where you are fragmented. What happened to you that made you crack? Can you look at that little girl and give her the comfort, reassurance, love, and protection she needs to feel safe in this moment? The pain from those experiences, the weight from those experiences are not hers to carry. It is your responsibility to look at that girl and tell her she's deserving of all things good, despite all of the bad she's been through. It is your responsibility to help that girl feel safe again. This is how you become a whole and complete woman. You need to look at your wounds and nurture them. You need to parent and guide that inner girl because she needs you to feel okay. She needs you to regulate your emotions and calm your nervous system. So many women walk through this life choosing the option that gives them the short end of the stick because they never saw themselves as worthy. It is time that you look at that little girl, that inner little girl, and you tell her she is worthy of love as she is. You speak life into her. You remind her of her beauty. You remind her of her strength. You remind her of her intelligence. You remind her of all her good traits. Encourage her, uplift her. The things that you weren't given as a child, give that to her. Isn't she deserving? So many women walk around carrying the guilt and shame their abusers should carry. So many women walk around disconnected from their bodies because they are so filled with unhealed trauma. They were never given the closure, the words, the apology. They were never given the closure they believe they need to move forward. So they continue to walk this earth as fragmented and broken women, yearning to be complete, using different things to fill the hole that they have within themselves, using relationships, drugs, sex, whatever it may be, to fill that void they feel within themselves. But it's never enough. because we cannot outrun ourselves and we cannot outrun our minds. There comes a time when we need to face her, face that girl who was hurt, and listen to her and comfort her and acknowledge her. There comes a time when we all need to acknowledge our wounds. Where are your cracks? What part of you feels disempowered? And how can you speak life into that part of you? As women, so many things happen in our life that take away our power. So it's important that we know how to heal and empower ourselves. It's important that we take that time to really look at her, look at your inner self, and ask her what she needs. What does she need to feel whole? What does she need to feel acknowledged? What does she need to feel seen, heard, and understood? Write yourself a love letter. Write a love letter to that little girl who needs that nurturing, who needs that warmth, who needs that life. Write a love letter to her and tell her all the things that make her special. Tell her all the things that you love about her. Give her her flowers. Celebrate her. Do what's best for her. Do what's right for her. Make the decisions that will help her feel safe, secure, and comfortable. Make the decisions that make her feel empowered, beautiful, and divine. A lot of girls are programmed to hate themselves, hate how they look, hate how their bodies look, hate how their face looks. So many girls, especially Black girls, are programmed to hate their skin color, their hair texture, their features. It is our responsibility to pour into ourselves. Us as women need to heal from the traumas we carry so that we are able to teach the girls behind us how to heal themselves and empower themselves. Because when the women are broken, so are the children. When the women are broken, so is society. When the women are broken, so are the families. If there is a young girl around you, make it your responsibility to pour life into her. If there is a young girl around you, make it your responsibility to speak life into her. Remind her of her beauty. Remind her of her intelligence. Remind her of her power. Protect the girls around you. Uplift the girls around you. Teach them what self-healing looks like. Let them know they don't need to look outside of themselves to feel whole. Speak life into girls. Let them know they are powerful. Let them know that no one can take their power. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Love y'all.